I was not taught much about taking care of my mental and physical health. In fact, I never thought about it until I got sick. It was at that point that I realized I'm actually not doing anything for my health. And so my health journey began. In 2016, I was diagnosed with a condition called polycystic ovarian syndrome. The doctor gave me two options for treatment. Option one, medication. Option two, lifestyle changes. I did not like either of those options. In the end, I chose option two, and it has taken me down a very long road of learning how to take care of my body. 7 years later, I'm still on that road, but I've learned a heck of a lot along the way. And today I want to share some of that with you. This is not health advice. This is motivation to get you into taking care of yourself. Let's get into it. I certainly did not value my health when I was younger, and therein lies the problem. If you do not value your health, you are unlikely to intentionally do things to take care of your health. In fact, you're probably not going to do anything at all, which is exactly what I did. To be honest, the turning point for me was when my father was diagnosed with terminal brain cancer. That certainly was a trigger for me and it made me understand the value of one's health. When you spend time in a hospital looking at people being ill day in and day out, and this is people from all age groups, from all walks of life, all struggling with their health, you really understand that health truly is well. That really triggered me to be more focused and more intentional in what I do each day to maintain my health. The thing is, if you do not value your health, you are not going to make changes in your life in order to better your health because you don't see the value in it. You have to understand that your mind and your body and your soul is only one, and you only get this life to take care of it. And it really is your responsibility to take care of it. You have to do the best that you can with the resources that you have. It certainly takes time to understand the importance of one's health, especially if you don't face any health issues. But if you valued your health before you got sick, it would be so much better for you. But if you're like me, it probably takes some illness or somebody else close to you to fall ill for you to realize, hey, this is actually something that I need to take care of. This is something I need to be aware of. What am I doing for my body? Am I actually taking care of it? Is my lifestyle actually helping my body and my mind, or is it hindering it? You have to value your health. We all have what I call a cure mindset. So what happens is we wait until we get sick, and then we go to the doctor and we take the medicine that the doctor has given us in order to cure us. But have you ever heard the saying that prevention is cure? None of us ever think about this. We don't ever think that we should take all these steps in our everyday life to increase our health in order to not get sick. That is something that never ever occurred to me. I mean, it kind of makes sense, right? Why would you fix something that's not broken? But here's the thing with health. You will be fine until the day that you are not. You actually cannot tell what is going to happen tomorrow. COVID was the perfect example of this. It affected everyone throughout the world. And for those of us who have underlying health conditions, it made it very difficult for us to fight that COVID. That alone makes you realize that we really need to be in a good state in order to be able to fight off whatever viruses are coming next. And if you think about this in terms of the common cold, if you are healthy, your body is able to fight better. If you are unhealthy, it's going to struggle. You have to remember that inside your body is constantly warding off viruses and bacteria and all these things that are coming at it all the time. But you don't know that because you don't actually see inside your body. And if you are treating your body poorly, if you are feeding it poorly, then you are really making it a lot more difficult for your body to take care of itself, to fight off those viruses. So really our mindset is what needs to change. If we understand that, yes, prevention is cure. Of course, there's no guarantee in life, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't try your best to make sure that you are the healthiest that you can possibly be. Instead of waiting for something to go wrong before you start caring about your body, start caring about your body now. Knowledge is certainly power, and knowledge is the one thing that I did not have. I knew almost nothing about my own body, let alone how an average human body works. And when I was diagnosed with PCOS, I felt completely out of my depth because I'd never heard of this condition. I did not understand why this was happening to my body, and I just felt completely overwhelmed. The first thing that I did is to find out what it is, go and research. And to be honest, I've been researching health ever since then. It's been about 7 years that I've just been obsessed with researching all different health conditions just for the purpose of knowing what they are, because I feel like we have such a lack of knowledge of health in general because it's something that we don't get taught. We only start learning about things if we're diagnosed with it. And for the most part, if something is not affecting you, you're probably not going to care about it. But I really do believe that knowledge of your body, health knowledge, should be considered general knowledge. It's something that we should all know and understand. It is something that is going to benefit every single one of us at some point in our life. That knowledge is going to benefit us. So it makes sense for us to acquire that knowledge. In the 7 years, I have learned so much, not just about PCOS, but about gut health, mental health, just how the body works. It's just been amazing. Right now, I'm learning so much about the brain, and I'm just like completely in awe of the way the brain works. It's absolutely amazing. But it also makes me understand even more how my own mind and body works, and that is certainly going to benefit me. So I think that something that we should consider investing in is knowledge. And there are so many resources available for free. It's not like we have to pay to go to some seminar or something. And you can if you want to. There's nothing wrong with that. But for the average person, you probably don't have a lot of money or time. And so for me, it's just been bits and pieces throughout the years that I've been picking up, either from speaking to others or reading books, reading research papers, or YouTube, which has always been a great resource just for learning. And I think it's important to get your information from multiple sources, especially today, because obviously there's so much misinformation out there. It's hard to filter through everything, which is why I think it's important to get information from various sources and not just get all your information from one place. Once you start going through this journey of acquiring knowledge about the mind and the body, you will start to understand that not everything is going to apply to you. And it is at that point that I realized I need to understand me, the individual, and how all of this information I've learned applies to me. And I like to say it's kind of like doing a degree in yourself. Basically, you are studying yourself. In order to understand your own body, you again need knowledge, and you need as much data as you can possibly get about yourself. I feel like I'm always doing this. I'm in constant study of myself. I feel like the degree of Yogeshni is never going to end. But I really am very conscious of everything that I do for my health, and I'm conscious of how my body is reacting to all the things that I am doing. All of this is simply data collection for me. It's me understanding how my body is performing under different conditions, and that is of great benefit to me. Because, as I said, we're all individuals, and my body actually does not respond as expected. Often I find that a lot of things that are normal for other people tend to not be normal for me. And through these years, I've really begun to understand my body. And once you understand how your body works, you can start doing things to be in line with your body. I feel like so often we're forcing our body to be a certain way, to behave a certain way, rather than going along with it. We need to work with our body, not against our body. But in order to do that, you first have to know your own body. As I'm aging, as I'm healing from different things, I find that my body and my mind is constantly changing. And it's because of that that I will always be collecting data and always be learning about my own body. And I encourage every single one of you to do the same. And also, like, there's nothing better than knowing your own self. Like, that's the coolest thing. When you're going through this whole journey, it can feel so overwhelming. And I think the key to better health is to do everything slowly. So when I was first diagnosed with PCOS and I chose to make lifestyle changes instead of choosing medication, I was completely overwhelmed with the changes that I needed to make in my life. I simply felt like there was too much that I needed to do in order to better my health. And you have to remember that at this point that I got the diagnosis, I had literally done nothing for my body. So I was starting at zero. And now all of a sudden I needed to amp up everything, my diet, my exercise, my stress levels, everything had to be good. And in order to do that, there was so much that I had to change. And it just bogged me down so much. It did not work, basically, because I was so stressed out in trying to do all of these things to better myself. I actually made myself worse. And I think that's something that we don't understand, is that if you try to do everything at once, all you're doing is stressing yourself out, and stress never has a positive impact on your health. So try and take things one at a time. That's certainly what I do now. I understand that my health journey, it's a long game. Things are not going to happen within a week or two. I'm going for like years and years and years of playing this game. That's something that I'm certainly practicing in my life now, understanding that I need to do little changes over a long period of time, because I'm not trying to get results right now, because I can't get results right now by making a million changes. That's simply not sustainable for me. It's going to overwhelm me and I'm just going to burn out, and that's not going to help me in the long run. So I really am playing the long game here. Every little thing that I'm doing is for 80-year-old Yeshni, hoping that 80-year-old Yeshni is really going to benefit from this. Even small things that I'm changing in my diet. For example, I decided that I no longer wanted to consume bread from the supermarket because it is far too highly processed, and I'm slowly trying to remove ultra high processed foods from my diet. It has taken me years to figure out how I was going to fit this into my life, because bread making was not a skill that I had. Every time I had tried, it failed, and I simply did not have the knowledge or understanding of bread in general. So it really has taken me years, first learning about bread and the effect on its body, then figuring out how to make it, then figuring out how to make it in a way that's easy for me to keep making it. Literally took me years. But now I'm at the point where I have a recipe that fits into my lifestyle and my diet. It has minimal ingredients, and it's easy for me to keep going with this, to keep making it. And I figured out how to store it and everything. That is just one change out of the millions of changes that I need to make over a very long period of time to benefit my health. So I think that's the way that we need to think about it. One change at a time, just one change at a time. Slow and steady wins the race. Often when I have to see the doctor these days and they want to prescribe me some sort of medication, I'm usually hesitant to take the medication. Now, there's two reasons for this. The first reason is I have reacted poorly to a lot of medications in my life, so I'm hesitant because I've always reacted poorly. Two, I need to know if medication is the only option. Here's why. I think for a lot of us that we don't understand the role of medicine. There are certain medicines that will not cure you. It's really just about symptom management. And I don't think that that's a bad thing. There are certain times in life where we need to manage our symptoms so we can give our mind and body a break before we can go on the path of cure. That's fine. But I never ever want to be in the position where I am on lifelong medication. For me, that is like the one thing that I've always tried to avoid, lifelong medication, simply because of the side effects of medication. And there will always be side effects to medication. It's just what happens. Now, I'm not sitting here telling you to stop taking all your medications and go and, look at herbal roots or whatever. I really do think that medication is of benefit to us, but we need to understand how to use it, because we've been trained with this mindset of waiting for disease to happen, then going to the doctor, then hoping for a magic pill to cure it. We do not understand anything outside of this system, and that really is where the problem lies. And I think from the doctor's perspective as well, they have been trained in this idea that when the patient comes in, they want a quick fix, so I need to prescribe whatever I can that's going to give them the quick fix. But like I said, we're playing the long game here with our health. Quick fixes are really not going to help you. They're exactly what they say they are, quick fixes. They're not cures. So for me personally, I've really understood the value of understanding at which point I'm going to need medication and at which point I need to make other changes in my life to benefit my body so that I don't need the medication. And that was certainly the thing for me with many health issues that I faced with PCOS. I did not want to take the recommended medication for that because it's actually a medication that's for diabetic patients. I really didn't feel like that was going to benefit me. And the list of side effects associated with taking that medication really just, I was not happy with that, which is why I chose lifestyle change. And it was the same thing when I was going through depression. I tried the medication, did not react well to it, did not see the benefit of having to take that medication. And it's kind of trained me to always seek other routes first. And again, I'm not saying that medication is bad and you should never ever consider it. Medication absolutely has its place in treating health conditions, no doubt about that. But if there is something else that I can do, I will always consider that first, because like I said, I'm in this for the long run. If there is some small thing that I can do every single day rather than take a pill, then I'm going to do that small thing every single day rather than taking a pill. A lot of us don't realize the effect of long-term use of medication, even things like painkillers. There's so many of us who are in their elderly years now who are seeing the effects of having to take medication for most of their lives. There are certain conditions where this cannot be avoided, of course, but I encourage you to find out if there is some other option for you, whether it's a lifestyle change or whether it's some sort of supplement or, changing your diet or whatever it is. Do consider that. I think we're so afraid of lifestyle changes, and I certainly was very afraid of lifestyle changes. I mean, taking the medicine's easy, right? Because it's just a pill that you have to pop every single day. It seems much more easy than having to make such a big change into your lifestyle. But like I said, you're playing the long game here. You don't have to do it all at once. Little steps every single day. Once you've made the first step, once you're consistent with that change, then you add another change onto that. And yeah, it is challenging. No doubt it is challenging. But think about 80-year-old you and how it's going to affect 80-year-old you. And if you're making these small investments every single day now, 80-year-old you definitely gonna thank today you. I just wanted to touch upon mental health for a little bit here, because I think a lot of us don't understand the link between mental and physical health. Our mind, body, and soul are connected. And if one of the three parts of us is unwell, it will affect the other two parts of us. So for example, if you're struggling with your physical health, eventually it's going to affect your mental health. If you're struggling with your mental health, eventually it will affect your physical health. And people are always telling us about stress and how we need to manage our stress. And if you were like me when you heard this, it just went over your head and it was meaningless. But it is true. Stress and poor mental health and not dealing with whatever it is in your life that is stressing you out can eventually make your body ill. You will start to see your body becoming sick because you're not dealing with your mental health problems. It is certainly something that I've seen in my own body, and I've seen it in so many other people. And I think we really do have to start thinking about our mental health and the things that we are doing for our mental health alongside what we are doing for our physical health. I hope this hasn't been too overwhelming for you. I really wanted to make this video to motivate you and to tell you that of course it is possible to better your health. It absolutely is. And if you believe it, if you have that positive mindset, that makes a huge difference in your health. I went from 0 to where I am now. And of course my health is not perfect, but I am in such a better place than I was before. And I constantly remind myself that I need to take good care of myself, that I value my health, I value my body. My body is important to me, my health is important to me. The decisions that I make every day are in line with that value of mine. That is something that I'm constantly reminding myself about. And as a Muslim, I know that this body is a gift from God, and it is absolutely my responsibility to take care of it. And one day I will be questioned on whether or not I took care of it. And I want to be confident that I can say, yep, I did everything within my power with the resources and the time that I had to make sure that I kept myself as healthy as I possibly could. And I hope that you will be able to say that one day as well. So I hope that this has motivated you, and I hope that it makes you feel a lot more positive about your own health journey. It doesn't matter where you are starting. You could be in the dumps just like I was before I went on this journey. But the idea is to keep learning, to keep going, to keep trying. Because if you do not value your health, nobody else will. And you should value your health because you are important. You need to keep reminding yourself that you are important and your health is important to you. That's all I had to say for this video. I hope it has helped, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye for now.